Full name,
Deborah Wong,
race, ethnicity,
German.
age,
I'm 50 years old,
marital status,
married for 30 years,
occupation,
assistant preschool teacher,
city living in,
Rancho Cucamonga,
number of children,
3,
political party.
Republican.
We know that men and women differ biologically, but what are some of the other fundamental differences? And are men and women interchangeable?
Well, I believe that there's fundamental differences. There's one way is the way we do things. My husband has one way of doing a certain thing, and then he'll say, hey, why don't you do it this way? We just see eye to eye a little bit different on the way, but we all get it done the same. We get it done. We just do things in different order. And that's one thing. The other thing is if the wife should make, most of the time men, when they're usually the breadwinner, and they go to work and then they come home, and the women stay home. But nowadays it seems like more women are going to work, and well, same with men are working too, but sometimes in the roles they're changing, where the woman is making more money than the man, and sometimes they can have, it's okay with each other, where the man stays home and raises the kids and the mom takes off and goes to work. Maybe she has a traveling job, and so the dad's able to stay home, and so that's, and that works out for them, and that's okay.
Who taught you about sex? Who taught your children about sex? And do you believe women are more educated about sex today or less?
Well, my mom taught me about sex, and my dad had nothing to do with it. And so, but she talked about just the minimal, and it was one of those embarrassing questions. So at least she got a little bit of knowledge to tell me about it. And then with our kids, my husband and I both talk about the sex with the kids, and so they're pretty easy going about asking us questions. Mainly my daughter. And the girls, I believe, that are more knowledgeable about sex nowadays, because there's commercials and ads, and their friends and everybody texting. You can Google everything nowadays.
Fewer and fewer people are choosing to marry in today's society. Why do you believe this? Is this phenomenon a good thing or a bad thing for women?
Well, I wish they would get married, but they don't, because I believe in marriage. Been married for 30 years. But nowadays, I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of divorces, probably in the family itself. Maybe the mom and dad has been divorced, and maybe they saw the ugliness of their divorce, and they're scared it's going to happen to them too. So I think that's why a lot of people don't get divorced. They don't get married. Yeah.
Your daughter wants to live with her boyfriend. She comes to you for advice. What do you tell her?
This one's a hard one, because I wasn't raised where you live with the guy beforehand when you get married. But in today's society, I'm being more open-minded about it. And like my husband and I, the first 2 years were hard. Good thing we didn't have any children right away, because a lot of arguments happen. And it was mainly about family. We're going over to so-and-so's house, we're going over to so-and-so's house, and he doesn't want to go, I don't want to go, those kind of things. Or it might have been about money, or who knows what the situation was. So we just had to adjust to each other, because we both came from mom and dad, and we just had to adjust to each other. So now I believe that it is okay to try to make sure it's the right thing, because you want the marriage to last for a long time, basically forever. But it's okay to get used to each other first and make sure this is the right fit, because of so many divorces.
What would you say men in general do wrong in a marriage, and what would you say women in general do wrong in a marriage?
Good one. There's a lot of answers to that one. Boy, there's so many after 30 years. But I just have to say, with men, it's the trying to be the domineering one, and just saying, like, have to always do what he says or what he believes in, have to think his way, and he's always has the right answer for everything. and the woman is kind of like pushed down a little bit, saying, hey, you don't have an opinion. And it's like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. I'm a human being too, so I should have an opinion. And then that's what I feel about, well, at least with my husband. But sometimes we go round and round on that one. But with women, yeah, sometimes we can be nags. Yeah, especially our monthly time. We just nag a little bit too much sometimes. And men don't like that. So we don't want to sound like our moms. But we do. We can't help it.
Statistics tell us that strong working women with great careers who marry tend to have more problems in their marriages. Why do you believe that this is?
Well, because I think many years ago, where the man was always the one that was working and the woman was the stay-home person, but to take care of the house and the family, ends up now the roles have changed in modern times, where the woman is working and making more money than the man, and then ends up I think it's a jealousy thing. So, and I can kind of see that, but if they can work it out, their marriage can work it out, so be it.
What effect, positive or negative, has divorce had on our society?
I believe it's a negative, because the children do not have both parents help raising them. And so they need both parents, and they need a good foundation at home to survive better in the world as they get older.
Do you think men today are feminized? Why or why not?
I believe they are, because more women are at work and the men are staying home and taking care of the household and the children. So it's a reverse role.
Are you for or against abortion? Why or why not?
I'm for abortion. One, if the girl is too young to have the baby, saying maybe it's 10, 12, 15 years old. Anyways, they're a child themselves. They're just not ready to really take on that responsibility. One, emotionally and physically and mentally and financially. And so I just feel that that would be one way. That's for terminate the pregnancy. Another would be more as to if there's something wrong with the child. If they find out the child's going to be handicapped mentally or physically, ends up and they are not ready to take on that responsibility. And I don't know how exactly the finances would work out, if it's the government that helps out in that situation or themselves. And but it takes on a lot of toll. That's a very emotional part of it, and I don't think, so that would be another reason for terminating the pregnancy. Another one would be for if the person got raped and got pregnant. That'd be another one, because you don't want, a child has to come out of love.
In what state do you believe women are the happiest? Single, married, divorced, or widowed?
Oh, definitely married, because you have your companion there. It's like your best friend. So you want to go do everything. You want to call that person, and you want to, it's like at the end of the day, you get together with them, and you talk about your day, or maybe you don't talk about your day, but it's just that you know that they're coming home, And so it just feels good. It's like some days you can't wait till they get home. Some days you go, oh no, they are home. But for the most of it, can't wait till they get home. It's like, okay, my best friend's coming home. Yay.
In what ways do women change after they turn 40?
Well, after we turn 40, it might be a little harder to get some weight off. And our skin kind of starts drooping here and get a little gray up here. And emotionally, it's when our kids go off to college. That was sad. For 4 months, I was alone. I felt like I was alone.